Right everyone, Max here with mxpgolf.com and welcome to Workout of the Week number 2. You guys loved the first one. I'm really thankful for that. Thank you for all the great feedback I've gotten. And it's also great fun to see that people at every fitness level is actually able to take this in and do it at their level, which is something we're going to keep building on, especially this week, but also into the future, of course. So actually, let's get into it. We're going to be working with our ground reaction forces today. We want to be better at creating that speed and power from the ground up, something that I know that a lot of golfers dream about or want to create in their own golf swings. So, as I said before, we're actually going to tweak this a little bit. We're doing 6 exercises this week, which means that I'm actually going to show a few tweaks of every movement that you can use depending on your fitness level right now. And as I said before, if you're pretty new to this, keep it on the basic level. If you're more experienced, step it up a notch or two if you feel like it, but remember, we're working with success here, so I want you to feel successful as you're doing these. If it's too heavy, if it's too hard for you, step back. We want you to be able to do it, we want you to be successful, and then we can build it in the long run for you to evolve and become even better with your fitness level and as a golfer. Speaking of tweaks, of course, you can always tweak what you're doing. So we can always tweak how far you're stepping out if we're doing a lunge, how fast you're doing it, how many reps, how many sets, how heavy a load, if any, and you can do all of those things together or separate just to make sure that we find the perfect level for you. I want it to be challenging for you. I don't want it to be impossible. That's an important difference to see. So today we're doing ground up exercises. We're going to be doing 6 of those, and as I said before, we're going to be doing different tweaks to each one just to make sure that we got even more choices in our workouts, and that way creating an even more dynamic workout for you. So let's keep going. Exercise number 1 is going to be either squat or lunge. This depends on how you want to do it, but we're going to start out with the basic version. So I want you to take 1 step forward, 1 foot. Keep your all the weight in your front foot, and from there I want you to take the opposite hand as the foot you got forward and keep it down by your side. So what I want you to do is simply go down as deep as you can and then feel like you explode up. Down as deep as you can, feel like you explode up. I want you to do 10 on each side. I want this explosion to go back or down slow and then feel like you're really pushing away from the ground, just as you like to do in the golf swing. If you were to, or if you want to, you can actually do this as a lunge, push back up, push back up. So what I really want you to feel is down here, we're exploding up. We're exploding up. Perfect. Let's do the other side, and I'll just show you what it looks like with a load. So I want the load in the opposite hand to the foot that's forward. I want you to go down, really explode up, and I want you to go down again. Perfect. And if you'd like, we can do this once again as a lunge, going forward, exploding back, exploding back. Perfect. Right, that should be 8, 9, 10. Every exercise we're doing, and we really want to focus on the golf-specific stuff going on. So we're looking for what's going on in the feet, the knees, the hips, spine, shoulders, all of it, just to make sure that we're moving in a way that we would like to in the golf swing. So let's make it even more golf-specific with exercise number 2. With exercise number 2, we're still trying to create force or power from the ground, but we're actually going into a pull press. So what we're going to do is take 1 foot forward. I'm using my left right here, right foot back. I'm going to use the opposite arm to reach across my left knee, and then from here explode up and feel like I'm pushing something into the air, coming back. And the movement is actually from here exploding up and out. We did something very similar to this last week, but this becomes even more powerful because we really want to feel like we're exploding up. And as you can see, if I'm not using any weight, I can actually from here feel like I'm jumping up a little bit, which is perfectly fine. I'm jumping up, jumping up. Perfect. We're going to do 10 on each side. And now that I've switched sides, it's going to be even more obvious what we want to do. So I'm going to, from here, switch side. I'm going to keep the load this time in my opposite hand just as before. And what I want to do is load this on the outside of my knee, explode up, push it up. Load, explode. What I want you to feel is that the power is coming from the ground up. You're actually not pulling this up and pushing it. You're exploding just like an Olympic lift. Exploding up, pushing up. So the power comes from the ground up, just like we want to see in the golf swing. Beautiful. One more. Exercise number 3 is going to be lunges, where I load into internal rotation of my back hip, explode out to external rotation of my back hip. So the focus isn't the hip or the foot that's standing still, but we're creating the movements that we want to do in a golf swing. And with that, we're also exploding a little bit, creating the power from the ground up. I personally prefer some load right here, so I'm going to do them all with load. However, you could probably see how this is just the same movement without anything in my hands. So let's go. So what we're doing is we're getting in our setup position. From here, I'm loading by putting my left foot in front of my right. Really feel like I'm loading in that back hip, which means that I'm really going down a little bit, exploding out, rotating my left foot to the left, coming back home, loading, exploding. When I get the gist of it, you can really feel like you're from this position, exploding out, going through the motion, coming back home. Great work. Perfect. And even though you're probably a right-handed or a left-handed golfer, we still want to do this on both sides. I'm going to do the same thing with my right foot going in front of my left, learning to load that left hip, loading, exploding out. If I were to tweak it, I could actually load to make it even more powerful of a load with either touching my toes on the right foot going in, or if I want to make it even harder for myself, actually not touching at all, which means that my left hip really got to keep all my weight under control and really balance what I'm doing. So I could go there, explode out. Whew, a lot more challenging. Explode out, explode out, explode out. Whew. As I said, it gets a lot more challenging straight away. So 10 reps on each side, really picking up that speed once you get the gist of it. And it's a great exercise to feel like you're creating that power exploding through. All right, so exercise number 4 is going to be a press for us. We're going to press something away from us, and I could be using an elastic band, a rubber band. I could be using some kind of a machine that makes me able to control the weights. Or, as I'm doing right now, I can actually use a dumbbell for it or some other load, or even just my arms. What I want you to do for exercise number 4 is to get in your setup position with your feet pretty close together. I'm going to start working with my right arm, which means that I'm going to take my left foot, stepping out a good big step to the left, pushing my right arm in what would be my the direction I would hit a golf ball. So I'm going through, pushing out, coming back home. Perfect. And I can either tweak these in one of two ways. Personally, I would prefer actually adding some weight right here. The other way would actually be to, rather than step out, I would do a little jump and come back. That means that you don't have to load it as much, using your body as a load. If you prefer what I'm doing, I'm showing the other side. We also want to do it the opposite direction, where I take my right foot, stepping out to the right, pushing with my left arm, coming back. And right here, I can actually add some load that I'm pushing away from me as I'm taking my right leg out, pushing my left arm, coming back. And as you can probably see, or you're definitely going to feel it, if you're not using your ground, this is going to be an awful exercise to actually be able to do with any kind of load, because you're actually just moving your arm and your upper body when we want to keep the whole system going, keep it all into gear to help you move that weight. All right, exercise number 5, we're going to keep doing a little bit of a lunge. We're going to really load that hip to make sure that we can load it And as you know, we also in the golf swing want to explode out of it. So we're going to be able to do this even with or without load. You recognize the stuff right now. And what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to start working with my right leg. I'm going to use my left leg to reach back and behind my right. And I want to feel like I'm actually using my right arm at the same time, reaching down on the outside of my right foot. And from here, I want to come back up. Really feel from this position that we're pushing up, coming back up. Pushing up, coming back up. And as always, I want to do 10 on each side to start. If I want to make it a bit more challenging for me, I can tweak it by coming back up into a high knee on the left side, coming back. Come back up, find your balance, come back down. If I want to tweak it, I keep the knee going up, knee goes up, and let's do one more, knee goes up. On the other side, I want to show you with the load, which you also can add, of course. And if we, step number one is also just step back, come back up. Step back, come back up. If I show you down the line, rather from the side when we're not holding a golf club, you can do it like that. If you want to tweak it a little bit, make it harder, get all the way back up, find balance. Awesome, let's do two more. Great job. Wouldn't be a workout of the week if we're not adding some kind of power and explosiveness to all of this. And even though we've been using the ground a whole lot and actually been trying to explode through every exercise, it's really going to be the last straw that really going to put that last little bit of effort into it. So what we also want to do as a golfer is actually, we don't want to move too slow. I see a lot of golfers who feel like if we're swinging the club back and we're doing the slow and steady, we're going to be better. And there is, of course, a technical aspect to all of this. But what we also want to do is when the golf technique is there, we want to be able to move faster. Because if you move faster, you swing faster. Simple as that. So what we need to do is create some stiffness in our movement, which pretty much means that we need to control our body in speed, like loading with speed, exploding out with speed, and actually challenging ourselves a little bit. And just to make you sure, or make sure that you understand what I'm saying, we actually used exercise number 6 for exactly that. So what we're going to do is stand with one foot forward. And what I would like you to do is to tap once. You're going to jump a little bit, tap the ground a little bit, jump back up, then down, and from there explode as high as you can. So you want to, one, next one you go down and jump up as high as you can. I want you to make that first jump as quick as possible. So just going to touch down and then jump up. So touch down and jump up. So it's going to look like this. All right, so the first one simply absorbs the power and pushes you up. And the next one, you absorb the power again and really jump up. I want you to do 5 on each side. 1 foot forward, touch down, jump up. And rather than doing them quickly all together, make sure that you're doing these 5 with quality. So take a little bit of break between each. All the way up. Perfect. Of course, we're doing the same thing on the other side. Just quickly tapping the ground and jumping, exploding back up. As I said, keep the quality up. All right, perfect. So that's workout of the week number 2. A great little workout to help you feel like how you're creating speed from the ground up, just like you want to do in the golf swing. As we've been through before, make sure you tweak it for your appropriate level. That there's a lot of ways to do that. Speed, load, how big of a step you take, how hard you go after it. There's plenty of stuff you can do. And also, of course, how many sets of each round you're doing. I prefer personally to do 3 or 4 sets for each. And actually mix them up a little bit, but that's just me. You can do it any way you want. 6 great exercises that I know will help you become a better golfer. And when you've gone through them, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think about them, how they made you feel, and if you've got any of these as your favorite right now. As I said before, there's nothing strange if you feel like one side is better than the other in something. That's quite normal, nothing to worry about. As I said, let me know what you think. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video. It helps a ton. Once again, thank you for watching.